Millennial Book Club. Millennial Book Club.
Hello and thank you for joining us on a
Margarine ballerina calories.
margarine ballerina calories. It's obviously how
Ballerina
much
calories. I meant to hit
calories a ballerina can
Margarine.
eat in margarine.
that. Ballerina. It's something that like you're speaking different languages. Margarine ballerina calories.
It's like a vocal warm up.
Almost.
Margarine ballerina calories.
If they don't speak the language, you could say anything, I guess, but it sounds like it's got some weight because there's a good amount of syllables for each word.
Have you ever seen those videos of it's like this Italian song that's English gibberish, so that it just sounds like English, but it's not. It's not because it's some Italian guy.
No.
It was like super popular apparently.
Okay.
And he's like habba-dabba-doom hama. That's like the whole song.
There is something to that. Like I saw a TED Talk once that was really cool. You've seen TED Talks.
Oh yeah, we all seen TEDs. Get scooted in here.
I saw a TED Talk with a guy who was just saying, this is what a TED Talk, this is the frame of a TED Talk. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to walk to the edge. He was, that
was the whole thing.
He had the face mic. Then I'm going to put my hand out and I'm going to slow down. And then I'm going to finish in what sounds like a question. Then I'm going to pause for you to contemplate. Now I'm going to pick the energy up and I'm going to walk 5 pages. And he did like
But
this
what
whole,
if I could tell you?
But it was like, dude, that is so true, dude. Like
It is.
you could take 90% of TED Talk scripts.
Did you watch the whole thing?
It was like 8 minutes or something.
Okay.
There actually used to be a podcast.
Don't try to say it was only
It was
8
short.
minutes is still a long time.
No, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was cool because I wanted to see if he was going to fall off, and he didn't.
You're like
The
a
whole thing-
hypnotist.
It was like perfect. I used to listen to a podcast that was awesome. It was an amalgamation of 10 TED Talks. The guy would bring them together with a theme. It was like an NPR guy or like a British NPR guy. It was great. I felt like I was taking.
Where does it end? Why not 15?
I want to find someone that could take 10 of that guy's podcasts and put them together.
And then you get 100. It's like a cube of podcasts.
It's just about people trying to give you ways to get overclock every
Right.
fucking aspect of your life,
And we wonder why we're tired so much. Constantly sleepless in Sarasota here.
Sleepless in Sarasota. I like that.
This is actually just the...
That was the movie we picked.
Yeah, Sleepless in Sarasota. You know the movie y'all love to hate. Millennial Book Club, brought to you by Road Soda Studios, where there is no books. Don't worry. If you can't read, you're in the right spot because we're just watching Netflix originals, not reading books.
You can be illiterate and be in this book club. It's one of the few book clubs that you can be in.
But you can't be Jewish.
Yikes.
Oh, whoa. Trying to...
That was a typo. I meant to say yikes.
Dude, I think you can say that. Oh, wow. All right. So what we did watch this week is actually a movie called Rebel Moon. It's been out for a week as of the recording of this podcast, and it's got an insane amount of views. It's like, when a movie comes out and it reaches like $100 million in its first week, they're like movies which it's like breaking records. That's more than 23 million views because they're like $12 a ticket.
You know how much they paid for Rebel Moon to make Rebel Moon?
Oh, dude, no, I don't want to hear it. It's probably like $400,000 or $500,000.
400,000 or 500,000. 100,000?
100 million. Sorry,
100 million.
100 million.
Well, there's two of these.
Yeah.
There's two of these.
Yeah.
The first one came out just a week ago or whatever. The other one comes out in April.
Okay.
Which I can wait for.
Oh, I see which way we're swinging for Rebel Moon with Greg.
166 million.
Yeah.
For the pair.
166 million. That's not bad
For the pair.
That's
and
not
I'm
bad.
not sure if that was this was picture a race car was built by Disney almost all the way, and they went, this thing sucks, and they put it on eBay.
Whoa. Slow your roll here.
And then this guy bought it and fixed it up, and he put 166 million more into it to turn it to two fairly sucky race cars.
I cut it right down the middle.
Yeah.
And now you have two halves of an okay sucky race
You have
car.
4 halves. There's 2 full cars.
You put them together.
Yeah.
You have one just shit car. So it's Rebel Moon. That was the movie. I'm just trying to point out, it's like 23 million views. If they were in theaters, that has to equate to like some record-breaking number in the first week. Because each one is whether it's good or not. It just means they pumped it up so much. Everybody was able. That first wave of people was able to get. They were able to get them into the theaters before they turned around and told the next group, "Hey, it sucks. Don't watch it." You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. That's a lot. I didn't even really hear about this until like last week.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know. I started seeing it when I turned on. I mean, you could not see it.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't hear much about it, and then you put it in front of me, and I went, "Oh wow, I guess they are kind of jamming it right in my face on the screen."
I know you wanted to watch The Office, but have you tried Rebel Moon? All right, let's actually read it. Rebel Moon is. That's funny. You thought I'd never say that here in the Millennial Book Club. Let's read it. Oh shit! I forgot this computer is touchscreen, so it just scrolled it. When a colony on the edge of the galaxy finds itself threatened by the armies of the tyrannical regent Belisarius. Dude, that sounds like a name your kid would make up for a kid. Yeah, he's Balsacosaurus.
I think it was kind of like they went for like Greek gods with some of the stuff, you know?
I think you're right.
One of the guys' name was fucking Atticus. And the other guy's name
was very like Romanesque. Even the main bad guy had a Caesar cut.
Oh my god! I can't wait to fucking
Caesar
talk
cut.
about how much I fucking hate that guy.
Let's actually get through this. I know we're bursting here. When a colony on the edge of the galaxy finds itself threatened by the armies of the tyrannical regent. I'm doing it again. Tyrannical regent Belisarius. We'll do it live. They dispatch a young woman with a mysterious past to seek out warriors from neighboring planets to help them take a stand.
We're doing Rebel pronunciation starring Isaiah Cooper. Belisarius. It was Belisarius.
Have you noticed that is a running... I'm not doing that on purpose, but
I almost kind of like it. I'm like, you know what? I could read the thing, and I'm like, no, let's see what he does.
Dude. In every episode, I like last time it was Leave the World Behind, and who's that one actor?
Oh yeah, holy shit. Mahershala Ali was like, some people trip over syllables, some people trip over a bunch of chords. Now they're on the ground and they can't get back up. That was Mahershala.
Mahershala Johnson. You're like, it's Ali.
Plus, it's kind of like a big name too. So I was like, yeah, he's never heard of Mahershala Ali.
I don't know. So let's go ahead and watch this here
trailer.
Remind me tomorrow. This is a terrible time. My computer wanted to restart. All right, folks. Let's watch the trailer here for Rebel
Moon.
When I found you in the wreckage of that ship, I considered leaving you. I was afraid you could bring trouble to us.
It wasn't her.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Bursting.
What do you think they want?
He's bursting.
I'm bursting with disappointment.
He's bursting with... Bursting. What else is that guy in?
Nothing.
No, he's in. I've seen him, and he's played like the same thing.
He's a poor man's Remy Malek. Is who he is. You know who Remy Malek is?
I hope we find out.
He's a fucking poor man's fucking Remy Malek.
When this trailer's over, how about you tell me how to spell it, and I'll pull it up on you.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do what you know you're gonna have to do? And tell me how to.
You
spell
come
it.
visit Isaiah. He's like, God damn it, Alexa! What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was just asking Alexa to look up Mahershala.
Can't come with Rebby Watson.
Give me some good information.
Oh, we're
warriors to fight with us.
chose now just to ignore this entire trailer.
Well, you know,
He did make 300. That's what I wanted to ask you: is how did you feel about those other movies he made, like 300?
I could help you.
I saw 300. I just remember that whole entire movie was all about how homoerotic can we get, showing abs. By the way, this movie, for a Star Wars thing that Disney threw away, focused a hell of a lot on people's abs. Jesus Christ.
I feel like you've got insider information or something. I don't know. I think that's just it's the same guy.
Yeah, he just
Everybody's got to have abs.
He's like abs.
People want to see abs.
All right, it's a story about abs. Where are they? Let's say they're on another planet, okay? No, let's go back into the distant past.
Abs on Saturn.
That's your movie right there. What do you mean we got abs?
Genius.
He's a rapper, by the way.
This guy with
The
the
bad
spear.
guy.
The bad guy?
The bad guy.
Is he from Diantwood?
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, dude, he was so good.
He was so good at sucking.
Who's the guy who looks like? Rebecca Martin?
No, Remy Malik.
Malik.
He was a poor
Zack
man's...
Snyder. Produced by Zack Snyder.
All right, so we saw the preview.
It's like a window into Zack Snyder's spank bank.
You know what? Maybe you have seen... He was in Deadpool. He was Francis Freeman / Ajax.
That's probably where I've seen him. He was another bad guy in Deadpool. And what his name's Remy?
Remimal. That's one I don't know either. Malik. There you go. That dude, man.
Oh.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
I do see the resemblance, but he's got kinder. He's more kind. Like
He
just
is?
if you look at his face, he's got a kinder face than the other guy. What's the other guy's name?
Ed Skrein. Skrine?
Ed.
SKR.
This was him?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude, he seems more badder guy.
He does?
Yes.
Remy Malik has like he
does have
looks-
a weird face.
It's sinister the way, and I've
It
seen him
can
in
be.
stuff. He was in this movie that was up for, you know how like towards the end of the year, I sometimes like to look at all of the, he does kind of have like a weird
blue steel constantly. He's like,
blue steel. Yeah.
I was trying to do his blue steel.
I'll
never be Ed Screen.
I try and watch some of the, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like the people that get nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Because I like to see what the Best Picture is going to be, you know? And like 2 or 3 years ago, one of them was called The Shape of Water. Did you see that?
I never watched it, but I remember. I
Did
think
you
we
hear
did
of it?
like a special road soda thing.
We might have. The gist
Were you
of-
like? I think you took notes. That was the one where you took like a bunch of notes, and then the next episode you like went through like how you felt about each movie.
Oh, maybe I did.
I feel like you did.
Maybe I did. The Shape of Water was I don't know how it worked, actually, honestly. It was a decent movie, though. But they found like this Aquaman creature.
Okay, I'm
Like
listening.
the government. I'm listening to Aquaman. I've been talking about him for years. They put him in like a government tank, like a government protection thing, and they have him locked down because they want to study this thing.
Yeah,
So
gotta study him.
the stars of the movie are like these women that are like the janitorial staff in this government facility. Like, the fuck's in that tank?
That's bullshit.
One of the women is like,
I believe a water man. Okay, I ain't gonna believe no fucking female janitor.
and then it gets even weirder. One of the women decides she falls in love with the fucking lizard.
Of course she does. 'cause you
Aquatic
can't-
lizard.
That's why you don't get
organism. Aquatic lizard organism ain't gonna like a woman janitor. They're gonna go high status.
Try. I want.
And then
make
Remy Malik plays like a guy that works for the government that's like, if that fucking thing moves, I'm going to beat the fuck out of it. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite scene in the whole movie, I saw it years ago, and all I took with it, was that a projectional from me?
No, it was the.
I'll
the
aim
white
better
water.
next time.
Whoa! Gave me a nice little money shot there.
The women janitors are in the bathroom cleaning up this big dark bathroom. It's like poorly lit. Everything.
Get it in this.
No, he comes
when he
in.
Pees, he can't get it in the.
He comes in. He goes, "Ladies, it's okay." He comes in. He washes his hands, and he's giving them this speech about, "Can't wait for that fucking thing to fuck with me," or whatever he was saying. Then he goes to piss, and then he's in a urinal, and he's talking to him the whole time. And they're like, "Should we leave?" I don't know. It's a bathroom for like 10 people. They're the only ones in there. They could leave. He tells them not to.
No.
He pisses. He washes his hands. Then he pisses, and then he zips up and he walks. And he goes, "And I know you saw me wash my hands before. You could tell a lot about a man whether." At which point he washes his hands before touching his unit or something like that. And that's the
Before or
type of
after.
weird thing that stayed with me. I was like,
That seems like
Like the world is
And
dirty,
that
and his
movie-
dick needs to be protected from
And
it.
that movie won an Emmy.
No, it was
That's like a
it was
joke.
up for best pick.
That sounds like a joke.
It didn't win. I forget what the hell movie it was that won, but that's Rami
It was
Malek.
Forrest Gump again.
Was Rami Malek in Star Wars also?
I think he might have been.
He was probably a guy in Star Wars. So, Rebel Moon. This was my main take on this movie.
Let's just call it. Spoiler alert across the whole thing. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't
Okay.
seen Rebel Moon and you want to, this is the point you stop.
Yeah.
Because any moment of this movie is fair game now.
It's fair game now. From this pumping on. I
made some notes. This
Yeah.
is one of the
So how
first
did
times
you
I sat down
go
and
on?
I took some notes. Director Zack Snyder. I remember he's famous for making a super long extended cut of what? I was like, I'm not watching that.
Watchmen.
Was it?
The Watchmen was like really long.
But didn't he make like a special cut of an existing movie just to fucking do it for like 4 hours or something?
Really? I don't know. I knew that. I think the extended Watchmen movie might be like 3 or 4 hours.
I
But
feel like
maybe
it was
that's-
something kind of aimed at a bigger mainstream. I know Watchmen was pretty mainstream too.
That sounds familiar what you're saying, but I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up next time I get a chance to. But he doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I knew 300. That was not a great movie for me.
The biggest nipples I've ever seen on screen.
300.
300, dude. When his wife is like, he's like, I think it's pretty early on in the movie. He's like doing her, and her like things, and her nipple is like a fucking eraser head.
Oh, that's all right.
And I saw it the first time
Takes
I saw
all-
it was on like
takes
a
all
super.
paths.
It was like a super IMAX.
Oh Jesus!
And so
it was
I'm like, oh, dude. And then it was 3 hours of abs.
dude, a lot of abs.
Abs in
It was
space.
300 dudes that were all,
And then that
P60X.
I remember every
P68.
after that
P90X.
they were like, you want to get 300, you want to get that 300 body, and it was like all you saw online was people like, I did 300 sit-ups, 300 push-ups, 300 pull-ups, and I look like that. It was a 300 workout, dude. Oh, the 300 workout.
I always wondered when I was watching that movie. I think that my favorite joke I made watching that was, what does the craft services look like when the entire staff is fucking, they wear their pants down so you can see their pelvic fucking triangle, and they're just like fucking ab. What's on that fucking card? Is it just fucking spinach juice and no one can hear? What's up, man? Nice abs. What? Nice abs.
I think John is highlighting.
Or they're all walking around having the smoothies. Like, what'd you say? And there's a bag of M&Ms, and no one's touching the fucking.
No one
M&Ms.
touched them.
Like,
They get plated donuts.
what'd you say about M&Ms? Nothing. Oh, the fucking M&Ms.
Dude, they were gonna fight over them.
M&Ms. So I mean, Zack Snyder didn't do anything for me. I'm looking up what it was because it was very recent. I feel like
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman, maybe.
Yeah.
Like he did like not just a director's cut. It was like 4 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
All anyone was talking about was it was way longer than it needed to be. And some people were like, I love Zack Snyder. So,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't give a shit about that thing prior. Making it 4 hours, just no.
No, I really don't care.
But I you like Zack Snyder, it sounds like.
I liked 300.
Okay.
I thought Watchmen was like, it was entertaining. It was interesting. His movies have, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know. He definitely has a poignant style where as soon as you watch it, you're like, okay, this is a Zack Snyder. He like revolutionized. I feel like there's a bunch of movies that revolutionized like little things. And I would say like maybe 300 did, but like, for instance, The Matrix with like the slow motion, like, and the bending back. I feel like after that, we saw so many things like that. And it just like did something. I think 300 did something similar to that. And funny enough, it had also to do with slow motion. But that's
I think
like
that
it.
he did do stuff because there were arrows and it would be like,
Yeah, the way it
an arrow
would,
and then you're
and
at
then
the
it would
arrowhead.
speed back up, and like the way he did it, it was just very his own. It was his own style, and it was good. I mean, that's why 300 was like, I don't know. I thought it was a really good movie, and it became a cult classic. That's why when it's up there with his best movies, it's the
Now,
fucking
did you
first
feel
one.
the Zack Snyder stamp on this fucking piece of shit?
Yeah, but not in that way. No, it was
Just
like
the abs.
it was literally just the shots and like the pacing was, and of course the action. All the directing was like, oh yeah, that's him.
Okay.
But the whole thing felt rushed. I feel like it felt like, okay, we're here now. We're here. I don't know. I thought it was they try to cram too much into it. So I know when somebody else new came on, it's like I don't feel connection to these people. I don't feel
it's a really
it's like,
hard.
I feel
thing
like the
to do,
story
too.
was kind of, and that was the only. Other than that, I was like, hey, I actually like this story. Like this is a fun idea. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people complain about that after watching it. They were like, "It's already been done." It's like,
which is so stupid.
It is stupid because every story's been done, and this
Yeah.
is a fun one. Like, they go to another planet. What do the spaceships look like?
Yeah.
What's the thing that it's all about? Rice? I doubt it. They got spaceships and shit. I don't think rice is the thing, but the fuck do I know? I don't know. But
I don't know exactly, but that's why and when I'm watching movies, I mean that's what I'm watching it for, is just to escape and kind of. And I watched the whole thing because it was just so pretty to look at, and like some of the action was kind of like it was.
So that was my first issue. The pretty to look at thing was I felt like they went through a catalog and they were like, who are we going to cast in this? They go, this guy. Well, we're not getting him. Here's a list of actors that are characterized. And they went,
look
oh yeah,
like
he's
him.
close. Dude, the whole cast was fucking like that, dude. The guy who plays Gunner, like he's the guy, the farmer that goes with her on the whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, that dude.
They got shit Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, exactly. There's like, I put store brand
Bradley Cooper.
Store brand Rami Malek, the main bad guy. That's what I was calling him. Even the fucking, what did they call him? At the end, there's another peeve that I have. I'm going to jump right to it. When they make something super tough, did you ever see the first Lord of the Rings movie by any chance?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been so long. I've watched them all, but it has been long. Which part?
Yeah, so in the very beginning of the first Lord of the Rings movie, chronologically, like when they came out with them, like there was these horsemen that were chasing after him to get the ring in the beginning, right? And they tell the story and you're like, oh, they look cool, the backstory's fucking cool, you don't want to fuck with these guys. But then 10 minutes into the movie, one dude fucking kills them all. You're like, oh, they've been around for thousands of years, but this fucking dude with his sword, and it's like, you ruin the whole thing. You got to make them
me fear them.
Make me fear them, and then
Yeah.
kill them in some other way or something. They were so feeble that like I'm like, well, that wasted the whole 20 minutes because these guys were fucking lame. I felt like they did that with this guy. He was cool.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was the leader of the like that weird animal race. He was the king. His face was fucked up, and he had all kinds of weird shit going on in his face. You know the guy I'm talking about?
In what, this movie?
In this movie. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Which so it was the leader, and he had all the weird stuff on his face.
Yeah, he was like a weird alien, but he like.
Oh yeah. The king, Leviticus or
Leviticus.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Yes.
Store brand who? You know who you're gonna say.
You
know who you're gonna say.
Hold on, what's his name?
From the fucking Star Wars movie.
Dr. Zoidberg.
The dude that ruined.
Oh wait, not Jar Jar Binks.
Thank you. That was definitely fucking store brand Jar Jar Binks. Give me a fucking break. Store brand the star Sophia, whatever her name was. I was like, who is she? She is not. This you can't just pick someone and be like, well, that looks like the guy from the State Farm commercials. Let's just go with that. You got to be like kind of that, but then also a little bit of this. Maybe he's like Puerto Rican instead of white. That'll throw people off a little bit.
Yes.
You want people looking at it going, this is someone I already recognize, right? Doritos spends billions of hours figuring out how do we make this just like what they want, but then we want to put a new wrapper because they already bought enough of these. So how do we make it here and then boom, and it's the same thing for them. That's what they did with this movie. That lady, I called her store brand Juliette Lewis, and then even
not like Jada Pinkett Smith, but Sophia Boutella.
She had such a severe jaw, such a severe chin.
You didn't find her attractive.
I didn't find her unattractive. It wasn't about that. I didn't particularly find her attractive, but then I don't know. They put her in those outfits, and she's fucking doing all this stuff. How do you not have be like, oh, that's kind of cool?
I watched a trailer, and I saw they showed like the fight. I watched the trailer. They showed like the fight scene, and I watched her, and she's like punching, and then she like swings her head, and then she punched it, and like the way she whipped around, and I stopped it, and I looked at Christy. I was like, this lady is fighting like she's a dancer. She's a dancer. And I looked it up, and that's like her first whole chunk of her life was like dancing. So she fights like she's like the way she whipped her hair around. It seemed like choreographed, like you're a dancer. There's this certain way that dancers move, and she couldn't shake that.
That dude is, that's another. That's like he's like a trope.
It's like
of a dude.
shit Hemsworth.
It's like shit Hemsworth. It's like a trope of a dude that you're gonna put in these fucking movies for sure. And then where's the?
I think he was in King Arthur.
The first guy that didn't even make it on here was the guy that they.
Anthony Hopkins was in this?
I know. That was another problem I was going to have. They must have put him in so much makeup that you didn't even
Was he
see
the
him.
guy that tried to fuck him in the bar?
Maybe.
Was that fucking...
I don't know. They must have put him in so much makeup because I didn't realize he was in it
maybe
until
he was
after.
the king,
either.
Leviticus.
I mean, either way, like just
Maybe
the
he was
one
the
guy
voice.
that you actually have and you fucking cover him up so no one even knows.
We could only afford 10 lines from Anthony Hopkins.
I'll only do it if I can be completely obscured.
He kind of thinks this is actually another Star Wars spinoff.
Wait, remember there was a guy that as she goes, so it's a good thing. Like when they copy a story like that, you start on this planet, which is simple farmers. Boom, dun, the fucking space guys come and go. We'll fuck with you. Kills this guy.
Here's the thing,
Give
though.
us all your food. They disappear. Then she goes, "What are we gonna do?"
Go ahead, continue.
It's like a road thing where they go and get assemble
we're
the
gonna
fucking
go
crew.
assemble some crew, and then we're gonna go fight them.
That was what you were saying.
That what I was talking about was
so
rushed. It was
They were
like, oh,
we
now
only
we
have
got the
20
crew.
minutes for the whole road show, so let's get it going.
Get it going. I want to feel connected to this person before we even go to the net. It's like I don't even feel like you should be in your crew. You just walked up to him, and the guy's like, "How much does he owe you? $300,000?
Yeah.
If you can ride that bird, I'll let you go." It's like, dude, what is this?
Yeah.
A fucking.
Who's
Is
this
this Hey
guy that
Dude?
we're gonna pick
Not
up?
Hey Dude. Is this what's it called? Dude Perfect. Is this Dude Perfect?
This dude perfect.
if he can ride the thing, he gets to go home.
If he can do a fucking cup flip.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you don't know this guy or anything about him, but if he doesn't do it, you're all dead. Let's give it a shot.
Let's
Fuck
fucking
it.
do it.
What? It was so fucking nonsense.
So here's the thing.
That dude was a poor man's Michael McConaughey, by the way. That's where I was going with that because I was like,
He was like a poor man's
with fucking a 12-pack, with a fucking. He was the dude that was the first 12-pack that comes out.
He looked like shitty Bahamas. He looks like if they did, they filmed Hercules like in India. You know, like he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, but just a little more lean, a lot more tan.
Yeah.
But his whole getup, he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Hercules.
Yeah, dude. He was the first one where it's like, is there a thing called ab polish? Because they were like,
He uses it.
let's polish those fucking abs and let's get some more abs on this guy. Let's get some abs on.
And
let's
Linda-
get some abs on Anthony Hopkins.
Linda, make them shine. She's a polisher.
I mean, it was just I don't know. So that whole thing, there was a great line from an old episode of Parks and Rec. I don't think you were a Parks and Rec guy. Ron Swanson is played by Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman.
He's like the man's man. You know what I mean?
of
All
course.
this shit. And he's at this event and he goes, they always put on a good party at the county thing. And he picks up a cookie and he goes, "Hi, Drax." So, which fucking cracks me up because when I was a kid, there's Oreos, then there's the knockoff Oreos called Hi Drax.
Oh, yeah.
And he picks up and he goes, "Hi, Drax." Like it's even fucking knockoff the knockoff. That's what I was thinking this whole movie because I'm like, all these actors are just, they're not their fucking guy. Then the picking up of the crew.
Sometimes they do that because if the actor's too big, they're usually already attached to a different character, or when they come into the movie, they go, "Oh, that's Tom Cruise as somebody, so and so."
And then it becomes a Tom Cruise movie, and everyone has to like adjust that. No, I totally.
So a lot
get
of
that.
times, like when they do, especially if it's a TV series that's has a potential to run for a while, they'll get actors that are very good that have been in shit, but they're not known yet, so that this can be what that person's attached to,
right?
And it's not Will Smith as whatever Obi-Wan Kenobi,
right? But I feel like that can be done poorly, and I feel like it definitely was here when the casting is like, "Do you feel like you look like Will Smith? Come on in. We're looking for a one-off Will Smith. Do you look like
that guy?" Was actually really big. The general. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has been in a lot of stuff. He was in. I think he's been in some like Avengers movies, maybe.
Jimin Hansu.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name either. General Titus, though, by the way, that's a...
I'm going to call him General Titus.
Titus. Wait.
Oh, do you know what Bae Duna, the Asian lady's from?
No.
She's from that Tom Hanks movie. Oh, my God.
The Man with One Red Shoe?
No.
Splash?
No.
Turner and Hooch. I know all the Tom
Dude,
Hanks
it was
movies.
like...
I'll just keep going.
I don't know if you do, dude. It was like... That one was like 3 or 4 hours long.
The Terminal?
No. And they were like going through like the future and the past, and like they would jump ahead. It was
Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
No.
Is that racist that I just threw that out there?
No, because that makes sense. That kind of
Tom
fits.
Hanks.
Dude,
in
people
this
are,
movie.
and it was a book. It was a book. It was written. It was adapted from a book.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody, it was one of those things that like shit.
It
the
was
bed.
about like it was about past lives and future lives.
Future lives.
And
It was
everything.
like
Cloud
Atlas.
Cloud Atlas. Boom. How's that for a pull?
How's that for a pull?
She was in Cloud Atlas?
She is in Cloud Atlas. Yes, she is. In this, she's the one. I don't, did you ever see it?
I remember hearing about it, and I took the book out from the library, and I spent months
Dude, the book is
barely reading it. I
based on
didn't get very
how
far.
difficult the movie was to watch. It's like a mind bender of a movie.
I swear to God, I had that book for 3 months sitting on my nightstand, and I probably read the first 50 pages, and I'm like, fuck this book. I'm not,
Dude,
I
it
tried
is.
sometimes, and then I went, oh, they're making a movie. That'll be cool. Like a year later or whatever. And I don't even remember liking the movie. I think I put it on. It was one of those movies. There was like a bunch of good actors all thrown together. And
It was a bunch of good actors.
But I don't feel like they did a good job with it.
Yeah, here she is. See, Bonuna. That's her again. She was like She was like
For
there was like this
for the hard of
cafe.
hearing, he called her Bonduna. Just
What is her
throwing that
name?
out there.
What is? I don't know her name. I just don't know how to say all names. It's not a race thing.
Sometimes it's tricky. BAE can sometimes be like a Bond.
Like a ba.
Bah.
But yeah, so that was I think we have very similar gripes, and I think it had the potential to be very, very good. And now to get a little technical with the story.
Okay.
So everyone knows that the hero's tale is what all these things have to fall on. Like if all these movies have the hero's tale, every story has the hero's tale woven into it in some capacity. And
The chance of redemption, like something
yeah,
here, you
miraculous
failed.
birth. And so it starts with like miraculous. Jesus has it. It's like starts with miraculous birth, and then like bestowed powers or something like that. Like you're above everybody else in some capacity, and then it gets. I can't remember all of them, but one of them is that our hero has to fail in the beginning.
Yeah.
Our hero is against all odds, and then they fail, and then they have to come back. So you have to see them fail, and then go on the hero's journey to come back.
Yeah.
And
makes sense, right? You're born above all of us. You failed. Now you're
Yes.
below.
And now you're with
this movie's going to bring you
Yes.
back up over the through line to become Hercules.
correct. And there's even people there's like philosophers that study the hero's tale, and they're like actually it's like an analogy for human life. It's really cool, but they didn't do that, and it seems like, I mean, I guess you could argue certain things were failures, but
It was rushed.
But everything was rushed, and there was no. You never really saw them fail, except for at the end when they all get caught, but then they get out of it. It's like you have to see like.
I did like those things. That was kind of a cool
At the very
concept.
beginning, and like you were saying, in order to make us fear the villain has to come in and defeat you in some capacity. And I don't think just knocking out and killing the head guy and like some vicious thing is like really defeating you. I think our main character, who's this woman, has to be defeated in some capacity, and like we have to see her come, whether it's an emotional thing with people or whether it's like physical fight with this guy.
Her failure was obviously getting duped by shit Hemsworth. Tricked so bad.
Yeah, which it doesn't. It happens. It's that there's no real hints that that's going to happen, and then they hint about it about 5 minutes before it happens, and then it happens, and you're like, dude, that wakes. Okay, so I like the twist itself, but it was just its entire execution was. It was kind
Now
of.
that you say that, I don't know that I had a problem that they didn't like tip that off. You know what I mean? I like that we all got the rug pulled out from under us at once.
I do like that, man. I don't mean to blow it right in the fucking lens there. Hey, welcome to the vape lounge.
I feel like I was okay with that. I like those things, like, because when you watch a movie like that, you're like, what were the cool things they did that you didn't see in Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever? I liked in the restaurant when they went and saw. That's like a very tropey thing in a movie like this. Let's go to the multicultural universe bar where there's everybody. That's not the fuck ever gonna happen. All the brain things are gonna go where the brain things go. All the fucking they're gonna go where they're gonna. There's never gonna be a bar
Because
that's like that.
everybody's racist.
Well, because everyone's
Even
like
the aliens.
Everyone's like under threat of death constantly.
Right.
There's these strange people coming that no one knows. Who the fuck's gonna go like, let's go have a few drinks at that place where you never know what's gonna come in through the door and fucking could kill all of us. Let's go there.
I mean, that's like the whole town, though. The whole town was kind of that way. And they're like, there's
guess.
people in those towns got to go drink.
I guess.
I know.
I like the
just
brain
know,
thing.
I just know that the second they walked into like the fucking bar, all the Star Wars nerds were like, "Dude, this is such a rip.
Yeah.
This is so." Good. It's like, come on, dude.
Or they were like, all right, let's see specifically which of the, what's the bartender? What's the music?
Bartender had candles on his shoulders.
I didn't remember that.
The bartender had these
Sometimes
long,
there's so much
like,
coming at you too. You can only
shoulder
pick up.
pads, and he had candles, all lit candles on his fucking.
They did not
Like,
quite
that
have the
is
budget of
fucking-
Star Wars.
I like that is fucking ridiculous.
Star Wars, with the early Star Wars,
Yeah.
like was the first to do it. So like you'll never be able to beat that. Then when they did the second wave of Star Wars, they were allowed to do whatever they want. They're Star
but
Wars.
But
These
there's
guys had to
also
compete.
this has to come from Netflix. I mean, it is known that Netflix is like, we want to acquire IPs that are like Game of Thrones. We want to acquire
number
IPs.
one, like up there.
We want to acquire IPs that are like The Sopranos. So it's like they go and they try to craft a show that's, if you like this, you'll like this. But if you do it too close, the people are like, this is a fucking rip. And if you do it too far, you're not going to pull the people in. But I mean, that's really what they're trying to do.
I'm not going to hold that aspect of this against Netflix,
But I think
because
because
Rebel
of that,
Moon is
they
like
come-
their Star Wars. Everyone could be able to do a Star Wars. Fucking
That right,
Hulu and all
but
that.
I feel like that's why it was rushed, and that's why it was kind of shitty, because they just had all the money. They're like, we need to get this done. Zack Snyder's like, I don't care about, he's like, I really don't care about this whole Star Wars thing, but fuck it. How much are you going to pay me? Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I think he just did it because it was like, they want it so bad. I doubt.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's
Zack
not a
Snyder-
fucking auteur, okay?
No, I don't think
He's like,
he-
how much is the money?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just here with this fucking 9 dudes standing on fucking
I was just
step
working-
ladder so I can look right into their abs. I mean, yeah, I could fucking go
cast-
make $42 million to fucking go cut. Put the fucking brain on the desk, man. Where's the abs? Polish them.
Right, get the abs. Where's the ab monster?
I didn't think that it was, I just didn't think it was a great storyline. I think
Yeah, it was
you
rushed.
put your finger right on it, that the part from, all right, let's go. We have to go on our fantastic journey. Let's pick this guy up. 2 seconds to show he rides a crow, and then all of a sudden he's on board. Like, he did.
Yeah.
That, I guess he proved, he's got whatever the fuck that is. Then the next guy, boom. Then the next one. The,
What is that? Yeah, what
the
is that?
Asian
dude?
lady,
What is
Bay-
it you got here?
Bay Duna
Burns.
fought a fucking spider with tits.
I don't know where she's like walked into some weird alley. They were just with her in an elevator. It was no like, where are we going? What's going on? She's walking down the street.
know.
I'm like, are they going to like a store? And then all of a sudden, a
Is she a
spider.
good guy or a bad
And
guy?
then a spider. Yeah, is she taking them to the person they want to be in their crew?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm like, oh, this witch is escorting them to the person that's going to be in their crew. And then all of a sudden, a spider comes out holding the kid, and then she kills the spider.
Then she's got
and
magic
she's like,
swords.
I'm in.
Then she's got magic swords that she only turns on after she's almost killed.
Almost
It's like,
dead. You got to wait till last
how
minute.
about fucking put them on right off the bat? Fucking just, it's a spider. If you could kill it that easily, throw it from the other room.
No, you got to save it. You got to save the nos, like
the drama.
like the Fast and Furious. You don't press the button.
Right. 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 And then, so they added the dude that rode the crow, the girl that killed the spider, the dude that's drunk, but the biggest genius in the world, whatever. And then,
Whatever.
and Chris Hemsworth, Shit Hemsworth, puts himself in and says, I got the ship. I'm Han Solo / Shit Hemsworth.
Shit's Hemsworth.
Let's take my ship.
Yeah.
And she just takes everyone at their face. And you don't even have a chance to be like, is this a good idea or bad idea? The movie's moving so fast.
She was like, this was also rushed.
This is...
I couldn't tell. I didn't know. Maybe if I talked to him for a few more days. No, it was like before they know it. She put her whole life in like this guy's hand. And this guy, it's funny because they were looking at like a bar that is like filled with bounty hunters, and then she walked in knowing she's like the most that's the other thing. We don't know she's the most wanted person in the world, because if we knew she was the most wanted person in the universe, it would look even stupider for them just to walk in the lounge of a fucking bounty hunter cafe.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's what that is.
Also, now that you say that, going with the Rush theme, when the backstory of the big character comes out, like she's like, someone looks at her backstory and goes, where'd she get that? She just looks and she walks off and goes to get water. And the guy goes, when she was a young girl, a guy tells the story. Yeah. She's like, hey, here's my abs. Let me see yours. Let me tell you my whole story. I'm going to do it in 2 parts because we're really fucking moving here. I'm going to do like a minute and a half here, then a minute. She tells the fucking story. Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's just too...
You got abs?
Why were they so rushed? It's fucking 4 hours. They're going to do a whole nother 2 hour
I know they got a
thing.
2.5 hour, but I think they wanted to get us introduced to the characters, and then maybe the second one will be slower.
Maybe
So
there's
this
a
first
lot
one
to
was
do
just
in
like
one movie. Maybe it is
maybe it is a
overly
lot.
ambitious.
It was over ambitious. I think who knows? Will I watch a second one? Probably.
The drug thing was cool too. So wait, now I'm going to tell you just the things that I walked
Because
away.
most of this has been umbrage. Most of this has been the
yes.
umbrage
Yeah,
taken.
I mean, it was a shit movie. It was a piece of shit movie. Don't watch it. It was fucking shit. But
I'm gonna say must watch.
a couple of saying
Must watch.
A couple of things were cool. They had these cool things when the bounty hunter people or anyone wants to catch anyone.
Yeah,
I
they
guess.
just put a box.
This box opens up and it's just like boom. It's like a gurney. It makes you like Hannibal Lecter, but it catches you and it just gets you. And then I guess there's like
and then it's got like feet and it walks like a spider.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
caught all these people and that was cool.
Yeah.
I also liked in the bar when they went in to see all the cast of characters. Nothing that crazy, although they went, well, we don't have much money for makeup. How about we make him a really aggressive homosexual alien? That'll grab some people. And he goes and comes up, and that might have been Anthony Hopkins.
Is it a homosexual alien though? Oh wait, no, yeah, that
He's
could have
like,
been.
I want to fuck your dude. How much?
fuck
She
your
goes,
dude.
He's not for sale. And he goes, come on,
Let me fuck him.
I don't know anyone in here. People get killed all the time. Let me be aggressive to
Let
him.
me fuck you. The guy's like, no, thank you. And he's like, give me your nuts. And he like grabs him by the balls. And I'm
So
like,
in that bar, there was a guy who his thing was he was just a brain with like little brain legs, right?
Yeah.
And he had like tendrils, and he just put them on someone
Yeah, it
and
was
then
like
used them.
like a brain bug or something. Yeah, it was
It was like-
weird.
yeah, he put his thing around the throat, and he'd be like, "Hi, I'm not
Do
Isaiah."
you think that it was him talking? Not
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
That was cool, right? And he just leaves, and then he ran off. That was
Yeah.
kind of neat. And then the third thing I thought was cool was the store brand Remy Malek guy
Yeah.
in his moment of repose has this weird. He's got all these scars on him, like they look like from a cigarette lighter, but it's a device that he puts on himself to like
Get high.
Yeah, what was it? It was like some type of drug was going in.
Dude, it looked like it was a hookah, and he was like plugging it right into his chest, and he's like breathing. I was expecting smoke to come out of his mouth, honestly.
Or something. I was thinking he was taking something in.
Yeah.
Because he had these things all over him, and then he gets up and someone's telling him something, and he backs up to this like weird
Just
snake
tentacles.
thing.
It's just
but they
tentacles.
like went to the thing too, like they,
Oh, yeah?
they sucked the resin out of his fucking. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, that's
was.
fairly original.
That was original. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, not if you watch as much tentacle porn as I do. It's pretty bland.
Tentacle porn.
Anime tentacle porn.
When I hear tentacle porn, Doug Stanhope had this homeless chick that used to do his. She used to do some of his shows in a certain area, and she came on and he goes, "We're gonna let everyone in the world hear Maggie May." And she sang this great little song at the end where she says, she's in an abortion clinic. She's getting an STD test. She hits on the lady doing the test, and the lady says, will you go out with me? And the lady says, let me get back to you in 3 to 5 business days because I'm doing the test. And then she goes and says all this bad shit that's going on in the world. And at the end, it's the first time I ever heard of tentacle porn. She says, why would anyone want to live in a world with so much tentacle porn? This was like 10 years ago, and I went, is that a fucking thing? And it is a fucking thing. What the fuck?
And you know what? Turns out it's my thing.
This movie, I want to throw this out there. This movie on Metascore, if you go on IMDb,
Yes.
you got like a rating, like up to 10. I forget, it got a crappy one. If
Yeah.
you go look at the Metascore, they do this weird ranking of like all these different critics.
Mm-hmm.
It got a Metascore of 35
Out of
100.
wow.
And
That's
then
low
said,
scores.
I said, what were some movies that were like low? The Metascore thing is 81 to 100 is universal acclaim. 61 to 80 is generally favorable. Most movies are going to be 60 to 80. 40 to 60 is mixed. 20 to 39, it doesn't go below 20, although there are movies that score below 20. Generally unfavorable. And it got a 35, which is the lowest of the actual rankings. Movies that were below that, I was like, are any movies that I liked? Do you remember the movie from 2000, Battlefield Earth?
with John Travolta, one of the worst movies ever made.
One of the worst movies ever made, but also there was all kinds of sabotage. You know that had something to do with the church. Like they didn't like the script, or they made him. There was crazy shit that went on with that movie. It wasn't just
really
organically that bad. Yeah, there was some shit that was going on.
Interesting. I never watched
Up
the
in
movie.
the Thetan Moons or whatever.
Thetan Moons.
That movie gets a 9, so that's like really bad.
Woo, that's like your benchmark.
Jenny McCarthy, the reason we may not be talking about Jenny McCarthy after 2005, she made a movie called Dirty Love, which was like her little dirty rom-com. That got a 6.
Woo!
That's-
Okay, I didn't
that's
know you could
pretty
go
low.
lower.
And then slightly above both of those was a movie that I actually did like, 1988, Tom Cruise, also a Travolta Scientologist, by the way.
Yes.
Cocktail.
Really?
You ever see Cocktail?
I never saw Cocktail.
You know what it is?
No.
He's a bartender. He's like a, he does the, what do you just call it? The hero's journey.
Okay, yeah.
Fucks up, down on his luck. He gets into this thing. They're the biggest bartenders. They're like throwing the bottles up in the air and making drinks, and the whole place. They're not there to get fucked up now. They're there to cheer on the bartenders. I'm like, that's.
I love movies that are like that. They're like about bowling or about playing pool or about playing blackjack. Like, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
Cocktail
that.
was a good movie.
Yeah.
For the time, it got a 12.
That's
so
not
I
bad.
guess
It's better than Battlefield Earth.
Better than Battlefield Earth. This movie gets a 35. I mean, 35 is pretty squarely in like, unless you really like store brand Remy Malek or The Dancer,
or if you just like Pretty Pictures. I think The Robot was good. Dude, The Robot actually had the sickest moment in that entire movie.
Store brand C3PO, yeah.
Store brand CP3O, shit 3PO, had
CPM's 3PO.
shit 3PO, had one of the baddest moments I've ever. I thought it was so awesome. But
The
of
last
course,
second of the movie?
no.
Oh.
Well, yeah, where he's like just wearing like he like got himself like this antler crown, and they didn't explain it at all.
Didn't acknowledge it.
They left him. The last time we see him is when this moment happens. They do the whole fight in the shed, and our main character now, the girl that they were trying to save is now being like held by one of the guys with a gun to her head.
Yeah.
And the robot, they've already explained how the robot won't fight. They won't do anything. They even picked on him. They like shot at him and kicked him around.
Yeah.
Well, that girl was nice to him. That's being held by the fucking Marine, and he walks in, and there's a gun on the ground, and he just picks it up like sideways, like he's looking at it, right? And then he like looks at him, and they're like, and the guy,
he's like, kill all these people.
He's like, kill all these people, because the robot's actually one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
He's like, kill all these people, and the way he's holding it, and just pulls the trigger from that angle, and fucking drills the dude, and I was like, dude, that is bad. And then he just drops the gun and leaves, and that's the last time we see him. Next time we see him,
until the very last frame of the movie,
he turns around, he's got like the crown of antlers and like some skins on. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
That was actually funny. That was funny to me. I'm like, what
like,
the fuck?
What is that?
What
guy
a misguided
doing?
attempt
Like,
to add an extra layer into this fucking.
He's like killed all the people in the town. He's like, I am the king here now. Like,
it was kind of funny.
maybe that's what it is. Is that he's like a king because she said the king lives in you.
Maybe.
And now, so maybe he's like, king lives in me. The king lives in me. The king lives in me. Like fucking.
He goes off like Dennis Hopper in fucking Apocalypse Now. He's just fucking. He's crazy. Dude. He only comes into the movie for these quick seconds, and like he keeps disappearing completely out in the fucking wilderness.
I want to do a quick aside.
Quick aside.
A few episodes ago, you said, have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket? And I told you this story about how I was going over to my friend's house all the time.
Multiple starts, but no.
to try to watch the whole movie.
Yeah.
I've actually seen Full Metal Jacket. I watched the whole thing on my own. I know Full Metal Jacket. It was Apocalypse Now that I continued. I went over there. I think we watched like 2/3 of the movie.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, how much longer? He's like, oh, dude, it's like another hour. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's one of those movies that has
Dude.
a whole movie,
Yeah.
then there's like a little like break where they move to somewhere. Now they're out in the fucking jungle
Dude,
with
Apocalypse
Captain.
Now was so fucking long.
It was a good movie though.
That was my thing. It was a really good movie. I just,
But you still haven't seen the
I just
end.
never finished it. No.
Okay.
So that I just needed to right that wrong. I wasn't able to sleep at
So,
night.
but you did see all of Full Metal Jacket.
I did see all Full Metal.
That's a great movie.
I didn't know they stack shit that high.
It brought us.
Where are you from? Texas. I heard there's only steers and queers, and you ain't got no horns.
Yeah.
You look like you could suck chrome off a bumper. Or no, you look like you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Dude, that is.
Wait, is that what he said? Or did he say you look like you could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch?
Yes, no, that is what he says.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
absolutely right. The other two would have also fit.
Both actually, go a little too far. Like I don't know if I want to attach that to my precious loins, but I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know if I need to get
You
that
do.
that ball through the. Great line from that movie, Full Metal Jacket, is from the most famous Two Live Crew song of all time, I believe. Me So Horny.
Me so horny.
Directly steal it from the girl in the.
And the thing, they did that clip. They
Yeah.
soundbite.
They're hitting on the GI. She's like,
sampled
oh,
it.
me so horny, me love you long time.
They
And then
sampled it.
They sampled it
me so horny.
and made it super. It's like the chorus of the fucking song. It's a great chorus.
It's pretty cool. It's a good
Loved
one.
it when I was 17.
Yes. I love it now. In fact, well, so you are rating this film
Terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, and I like the Star Wars type things, and if you like that, then watch it to see, but it just fails on almost every single level. Never gets off the ground. The things rushed. When you watch a movie like that, you got to get behind at least some of the characters. You can't.
I didn't.
Even the guys, by the way, the bounty hunter guys that take that guy in the beginning, store brand fucking Lord of the Rings orcs.
You know that orc looking dude?
They look just like the fucking orcs from fucking Lord of the Rings. They barely. It was like when we get these costumes back here. My brother-in-law worked on wardrobe for Lord of the Rings. Go get that shit. Polish those fucking abs. Go get those costumes. Let's get this shit going.
Can we
I gotta
show
get
his
home.
abs? You know who this is. Anthony Hopkins had to get abs.
Yeah, we still don't know who the fuck Anthony Hopkins played.
Yeah,
in this
because it
movie.
doesn't say. You know how you see below it says like who they played.
Wait, I thought it did say.
Oh wait, no, this is a different movie. This is that fucking Cloud Atlas movie. Anyway, so next week we're gonna watch Bad Surgeon.
Bad Surgeon, the Netflix one. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of things made on this guy. So, if you want to follow along, watch the Netflix
Bad
3-parter.
Surgeon, Love Under the Knife.
Yep.
It is a 3-part docu-series. An investigation into one of the biggest frauds in modern medical history exposes a thoracic surgeon famous for groundbreaking achievements in the field of regenerative medicine. So, yeah, there you go. We're going to watch that one, Bad Surgeon, Love Under the Knife. Come back next week, and we'll all watch that bad boy. And, I'll put it, watch it if... I'm going to say fucking must watch. Go watch Rebel Moon. Must watch. It is pretty to look at. It is entertaining. As much as we say it sucks, you will probably watch the whole thing. You will watch the whole thing.
He made 300. They're going to rename this movie down the road.
If you
35.
like abs, a big black Pegasus, and fucking
There's a crow.
Shredded, Pegasus crow. A crow Pegasus.
Crow.
It's a fucking crow. Yeah, and a guy, he's got to tame it, and all he has, it's like, dude, all he has to do is tame it.
Hulu should buy this movie off the scrap heap and retitle it 35. Homage to its Metacritic score and just fucking put it on the shelf just to harass Netflix.
They should just rename all those movies down there. Movie number 35.
Rebel Moon
movie number 12.
sucks.
Well, hopefully Bad Surgeon doesn't suck. We'll see. See you next week.
See you next week.